Hey guys, I'm not gonna really edit this video much at all, but I am gonna get cozy. So it's a beautiful night. It's not cold, it's not hot, but it's just kind of like you can have a little blanket and be cozy and you're like perfect. So that's where we're at on this August evening. But like I said, I'm not gonna edit this video very much at all. It's gonna be quite basic editing. I'm probably gonna cry. So if you don't like watching people cry, this is not the video for you, because chances are I'll cry, but maybe not, maybe not. So I had my doctor's appointment, and I have a doctor, okay? And he's amazing. He's wonderful. I've had him 14, 15 years at this point. He's amazing. But here's the thing. He's a man, and that's fine. Men are good, they're great, right? But I just am one of those people that like I don't know, I find if a man is telling me something that I need to do, I automatically take it as I'm doing something wrong when it comes from a man. I don't know why. My doctor's wonderful. He's amazing, but I always go into my appointments with a level of anxiety strictly because I'm talking to a man. And that's not him, that's a me issue. That's nothing to do with him. He is amazing. He truly is. He's a remarkable man. But so here's the thing. I was supposed to see him last week. And I get a call yesterday that said there's like an emergency situation. Somebody needs to take your appointment for next week. Can you come in tomorrow, so like today, and see the nurse practitioner? And I was like, sure. Like, it doesn't matter to me, because I knew I was going in. Basically, I wanted to just talk about like doing like a full blood work panel thing on myself, talk about some of my issues. So I was like, I don't mind talking to a nurse practitioner. Like, they're amazing. Nurse practitioners are, I have no issue seeing a nurse practitioner. That's what I'm trying to say. So I was like, sure. So my appointment got bumped up a week, and it was no longer going to be with my family doctor. It was going to be with like a stranger that I've never met before, but I was like, sure. So anyways, that's where we're at. So Trevor comes with me to my appointment because I knew I would need his support, like moral support, because 9 times out of 10, when I go into the doctor, I am there crying. Like, I am just an emotional girl. I feel things deeply, and when I'm talking about an issue I have, I always cry. Like, not every time, but like, I should say like 6 times out of 10, I probably am in there crying. So I just like the support, because a lot of times when I get in a panic state, I don't absorb information. Like, I'm just there like, whoa. So it's good to have a buddy there to like absorb everything and be there as a comfort and support for me. So Trevor came to the appointment with me, and so as soon as I got there, there was a nurse, but I never met her before. It wasn't the regular nurse that's always around, and she was like, said something like, so what are you gonna get done, or what do you want to get done, or what, I forget what she said. And I was just like, and just her saying that, I just cried, like, ugh, like instantly. She's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And I was just like, I'm okay, I just got a lot going on. She's like, it's okay, it's okay. So anyways, she's trying to take my blood pressure, and of course it's through the roof. Like, I don't even want to tell you. You guys don't need to know that. It was bad. Like, picture really bad, that was me. So she took it a bunch of times, and it was still, even like throughout, like once I was settled and stuff, like it still was high. So she's like, okay. So then the nurse practitioner comes in. So that was just like the nurse that does your vitals and stuff. And she weighed me. Oh my gosh, you guys. I have not weighed myself, and I'm not kidding you, probably like 6 years. I'm not even kidding you. So I was like, whew. Okay. So anyways, I know that number now, which I literally, sorry, there's a big truck going by. I've literally just not known that data about myself, because I'm just not someone that does well with like scales and stuff. So anyway, I know that info now. So, but anyway, so the nurse practitioner comes in, and I've never met her before, ever. And she walks in and she goes, "Hi, I'm so-and-so." And she introduced herself to Trevor. And then she's like, "Oh, sweetie, are you really anxious? Are you really nervous right now?" Because you guys know me, when I am anxious or scared or nervous, I break out in a rash from like it's like a rash, and it's like from my up here all the way down, like my whole body. Like I just go into a blotchy rash. So I was covered in a rash at this point by the time she walks in, and she's like, "Are you anxious? Are you nervous?" And I was like, and I start crying. I was like, "I am. I'm so scared." And she's like, "This is a safe place." She's like, "I'm going to help you. Whatever you need help with, I'm here to help you. Please don't be nervous. Don't be anxious." She's like, "I hate going to the doctor too." She's like, "Trust me, I know. I even, when I go to the doctor, I sit in the doctor chair because it makes me feel more comfortable." I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, she instantly like just kind of fixed the mood in the room. Like made me like, she just really helped me like, okay, this is a safe spot. Like I can like open up to her. And she's like, "What's going on?" So I told her everything. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, anything I ever wanted to discuss, I discussed with her. And you guys, she is literally me. Like, a more social me. Because, like, I'm social with you guys and I'm social with my family. But, like, if you put me in a crowd of people I've never met, or even just, like, acquaintances, or, like, people that I'm just not really close with, like, I am not social. I'm very awkward and I don't really talk. Like, I'm not a good social person. But she is me, but a social version of me, because she was just so like bubbly. Like, she's kind of like me on YouTube, like, and like me with my family. Like, she was me. Like, it was so weird. Like, the things I was telling her, like, she'd be like, "You know what? Like, I'm going through that too." And I was like, "What?" And, like, she really made me, like, not feel alone. And she was, like, I can't even tell you, the moment like, I started to get to know her, I was like, this is my dad. Like, she's literally my dad coming down and like, I literally felt like my dad was with me in that appointment, because I was so scared and I was so anxious. And I just felt like her being her was literally like a gift from my dad, like being like, "Jaclyn, it's okay. Like, I know that you need a person like her right now. Your doctor is wonderful. He's a lovely man. He truly is. Like, I'm not even kidding you. He is an incredible doctor." But just the fact that he's a man and an older man, like, sometimes I feel like I can't tell him things, and that's awful. But like, I just feel like he wouldn't understand. But like, and that's a me problem. But like, I don't know. I just felt like my dad sent her to me so I could tell her everything. And I told her, like, I'm not kidding you guys, I was there 1 hour and 15 minutes. And she's like, "I will stay here all day with you." She's like, "I am not rushing you out of here. You take as long as you need." Because I was like, oh, crying. Anyways, I'm going to go to grieving counseling or therapy or whatever. Like, I am going to see someone. We agreed on that. So I'm going to be talking to somebody regularly. But she was like, "Jaclyn, like, losing a parent is one of the hardest things anyone will go through in their life." Like, I mean, for some people it might not be hard, and some people it might be, as you see here, like, extremely hard. And she's like, "It is so hard to lose someone." And she's like, "And it's so hard to lose a parent." And she's like, "You've been doing this for 9 months, and it's like, you just need a little break. Like, you need a little help, and there's nothing wrong with asking for help." And she just listened to me, and she really was like, "Do you know everything you're saying to me is normal? Like, it's normal to feel that way. It's normal to have days like that. It's normal to feel this way. It's normal." And she just really validated a lot of feelings that I was just kind of like, why do I feel this way? Like, why can't I feel like my full potential? Like, why can't I get there? Like, I have an amazing life, and I love everything, like, day to day, like my everyday, I love it. But there's like I can't fully get there, because it's just like this sadness that's always kind of there. And she even, like, she said, she's like, "I'll give you whatever you want to that sounds bad, but she said, you can ask me for whatever you want. That's what she said. You can ask me for whatever you want, and chances are I'm going to say yes. But if I say no, I will tell you why I'm saying no. Like, she was so, like, very good with someone that has worries or anxiety. And she even said, she's like, Jaclyn, like, do you think you're having health anxiety, or do you think you're worrying about your health? She's like, because those are different. She's like, having anxiety about your health is different, because she's like, because this is all new for me, having all of this health anxiety. And she's like, is it more of like a worried, like you're worried for your health, or are you really like thinking about it all day, every day? Like it's anxiety. And I was like, no, it's not that. Like, I think it's more of a worry. Like I'm worried that I'm going to like die early. I'm worried I'm going to have the same heart condition my dad had. Like, I'm worried about that stuff, but it's not like keeping me up at night. And I worry about it a lot. But once she said that, I was like, it's not really like an anxiety thing. Like, I'm not sitting around panicking about it, but it's on my mind and I'm worrying about it. And she's like, those are different things. So it's good that you know, like, it's more of a worry and you're concerned, but it's not like, you know, a panic situation. And so what she was saying, she's like, I can give you like a really good antidepressant and anti-anxiety med on a really low dose, and we can see how you do with that. And I immediately was like, no, I don't want, like, I want to do this. Like, I want to just like heal and grow and just not, like I said, like, I don't want to go on meds. I just don't. And that's my personal decision. I've been on every medication under the sun. I have a lot of trauma when it comes to medication for my mental health. I was overly medicated for a lot of years of my life, and it was brutal. And I just don't want, like, I don't know. I don't think I need it. And that, you might be like, Jaclyn, you need it. I really don't think I need it. And she agreed. She's like, I'm so happy you said that. She's like, you would be amazed at what moving your body will do. She's like, it's so good for your mental health. It's so good for your physical health. And she was like, okay, I'm kind of like going ahead here, but she was like, because I told her I was worried that I was going to die young, and that my dad had a heart condition. He had a lot of things, and I'm not going to get into all of his medical history with you guys, but he had a lot of things that he dealt with, and a lot of them are genetic. And when my dad was passing, the day he died, the heart specialist came in to like the little waiting room where all of us were in, and it's kind of poor timing, but in the same sense, I guess it was perfect timing, but it was like very poor timing, if that makes sense. He came in to tell us that Dad was not coming home, and took that moment to also say, and what he's dying from is very genetic. Like, it's something that you guys, and pointed to all of us in the room that are blood related to my dad, you need to take seriously, and you guys all have to get tested for this. Like, it's nothing to mess around with. Like, he's 62 years old dying. And poor timing, because we were like, what? Like, but also it stuck with all of us. But in that moment, the last thing I wanted to, and he even said, we have a package at the desk for you guys with info about all of the health things, and none of us picked it up because the last thing we were thinking about in that moment was ourselves. Like, we were just there for him. But it did stick with me, and I always, and then I think that what caused a lot of like worry is that, like, oh my gosh, like, what if I do have that health, like some health things that I don't know about, and what if, like, you know, I don't know. I always worried about it. So I told her all of that, and she was like, do you know what it is? And I was like, I don't really know what it is. Like, so she was like, do I have your permission to access his file. I was like, you can do that? And she was like, yeah, I can access his whole medical history right on this computer. And I was like, yeah, of course. And so it was like a whole formal thing. I had to give her consent to search up his name and his date of birth, his doctor. And it was so, I don't know, I don't want to cry, but just to have all of his medical, like literally everything just on the computer in front of me, like his name, as if like I haven't seen his name in a long time, you know. Like I used to go to appointments with my dad, and I would be sitting there with him at his appointments, and then now I'm just sitting there like me and like looking at his file. So anyway, she looked through his whole medical history, and she was like, yeah, he had a rough go. And he was so young. And I was like, I know. And that's why I'm scared too. And she was like, I don't blame you. Like she was so sweet. And she was like, I don't blame you at all. I don't want to give too much of her stuff away either, but she opened up to me. Like she recently lost someone very close to her too, and she's like, I'm in that boat too. And maybe you might think that's unprofessional, but it really made me feel so seen and heard. And so she agreed, yeah, I should start taking care of myself, because she's like, it is serious, because genetics are genetic, and she's like, if you're not eating good and you're not exercising and you have shitty genetics, I'm paraphrasing, by the way, you're gonna get sick. She's like, it's gonna happen. Like, and I don't know, like, it just like hit me. I was like, she's right. Like, what do I expect? Like, sitting here crying that I'm gonna get sick, but I'm not doing anything about it. And I told her, I'm like, all I do is eat. Like, all I do is eat. And she was like, same. I don't know. Like, she was so amazing. And she's literally, like, she was like my size. And not that that matters, but something about like a really fit, like in shape, like man or woman telling you like, you just gotta lose weight. And you're just like, okay. But someone that's like in the boat with you, and she's like, I know it's so hard. And she was like telling me what she's been doing. And she was like, lifting weights is really good. She's like, I know that sounds so like what? But she's like, even just little weights. She's like, lifting weights is so good for people that are aging, like getting older. Like, it's so good for you. And she was like, go for walks. And she's like, you'd be so surprised. So this is where I was when she's like, you'd be so surprised what going for a walk every single day will do for you. She's like, it's so good for your mental health. It's so good for your heart. And she's like, it's not a bad thing. She's like, just a walk. And I agree with her, because I always feel so good when I walk. But she was like, Jacqueline, if you don't eat good and you're not exercising, like, of course you're like, things are gonna happen. Like, and she's like, plus you have this other factor of like, just your genetics are just not the greatest. Because it's not just dad. Like, I have things on both sides of my, like, I have so much. And it's just like dad dying so young of something that is anyway, she was like, I want to see you succeed. And she's like, I'm really happy that you want to do this. Because I told her, I'm like, because she's like, are you willing to do this? Like, are you willing to tell me right now, like, you're gonna walk every day and you're gonna take your blood pressure every day? Because my blood pressure was so bad. And I was like, I'll do it. And she's like, okay, like, I want to see you in 4 weeks. And she wants me to take my blood pressure every single day for 4 weeks. And so I have a blood pressure machine. And she's like, take it when she's like, personally me, I like to sit out on my deck. And I was like, me too? And she's like, just sit out, have your blood pressure machine with you. But she's like, sit down and do your normal routine with your blood pressure cuff on. but don't push the start button yet. She's like, just sit there, relax for 10 minutes. When you're nice and calm, then take your blood pressure. She's like, don't take your blood pressure when you're cooking and you're all wound up. Like, take it when you're, you know, nice and calm. And then my pulse was all crazy. It was like 133. I guess that's bad. I don't know. I have to look that up. I should have asked her. I didn't even ask. She was like, that's high. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what a normal pulse is, but heart rate or whatever. So she was worried a little bit about that. Like, not, I shouldn't say worried, but she was, well, maybe she is. I don't know. I think she was treading lightly with me. I was just like, oh. But, yeah, so she wants me to also track my pulse because it was high. And, she listened to my heart, and from what she could hear with just the stethoscope, she said it sounded really good. So she's like, you don't have an irregular heartbeat or anything like that. That sounds really good. She says she's going to send me for like ECG and, oh my gosh, echo. I forget. I don't know. I forget. Like, truly, I'll have to ask Trevor. Like, I don't know what she said. But she's like, I'll do any test you want, Jacqueline. She's like, if it's going to ease your mind, like, I will do whatever you want. And I was like, I want it all done. I just want to know, like, I want to know where I'm at and what I need to improve on. She's like, okay, let's do it. So she did a full blood panel, and like, look where they ended up having to get my blood from is on my friggin' knuckle. Oh my gosh. Well, I'll show you guys maybe in my next video, but I'm all bruised right here. I was like, just so you know, it is really, really hard to get blood from me. I'm like, I don't mind it, but my veins are horrible. And she said the same thing everybody says when I tell them that. Oh, but I'm really good at taking blood. I'm like, okay. Sure enough, she's like, frig, she's like, you're a stone. I was like, I know. It took 3 of them. 3? Oh, like, oh, it was so... I think they poked me like 7 or 8 times, and finally they got it out of my knuckle. So anyway, she's testing me for diabetes because I really stressed to her. I'm like, I'm worried I'm going to develop diabetes. Like, literally, I know more people with it than not. Like, in my family, like, I worry. And I'm like, and I'm not eating good. She's like, done. We'll test you for that. And then she's testing my liver and my kidneys and my B12 and my thyroid and my, I don't even know. Like, literally the list is endless. Like, I got a full blood panel, like full blood panel. So I told her I was worried about my blood pressure because I knew, what is that? I knew that it was high, but, maybe that's why I'm getting headaches. Maybe that's it. But anyway, so she said the blood work is going to go to the hospital tomorrow, and that she's pretty sure Friday they'll have the results. But she said if there's nothing like extremely alarming, then I won't hear from them until my 4-week appointment when I go back. And she's like, if there's little minor things that come up, like, she'll just address it with me then at the 4-week appointment. But she's like, if there's like some like major like red flag showing up here, that she'll call me Friday. So I'm like, okay. But oh, you know what she did? She was like, can I see your phone? I was like, yeah. And she was showing me the health app on my phone. I never used that thing before. Like, she laughed. She's like, you've never used this? Because it was still like the brand new, like, hi, can we access this? And like, you know, when you first open an app, she's like, you've never used it? I was like, I've never opened that app in my life. And she's like, Jacqueline. So she was like showing me how to do it. And then she showed me how to track my blood pressure in it. And she like favored it. And she's like, put all of your blood pressure and your pulse in this app, and this is what I'm going to look at when you come back in 4 weeks. And she's like, every single day. I was like, okay, every single day. So I have to do that, and I have to go for my walks, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Like, I need to make a change, because she was like she said, she's like, if you don't eat good and you don't exercise and you have bad genetics, you're gonna be sick. And I was like, I know I am. So I don't know. And like, I don't know, like, she didn't tell me anything different than I think that my regular doctor would have told me. But like, she basically said, like, you have to lose weight and exercise, eat healthy, like, be like, just do the basic things. But her delivery of it was just more like manageable. I just feel like the delivery, it was just a better delivery than someone being like, well, you're having these issues because you're overweight, so lose weight. Like, she was just like, oh, I'm in it with you. I know, trust me. Like, I'm liking this exercise. I'm liking this exercise. And you know what she did? She showed me her health app and how she's tracking her blood pressure. Because I guess, I don't know. Anyway, she was just like, look at my blood pressure. Like, this is what your app's going to look like once you have a month filled in. And then I was like, oh, wow. And she was just so, I don't know. I really feel like my dad sent her to me, because I don't think I would have opened up as much to my actual doctor. Like I said, that's a me issue. It's nothing to do with him. But I don't think I would have. And I liked knowing that she was like, you can ask me anything and I'm probably going to say yes, but if I say no, I will tell you why. And she just made it seem like she wasn't better than me, or like, I don't know. And we're the same age, because she was like, we're the same age. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, she literally was me. Like, I don't know how to explain it. She just made me feel not alone. And that's like my biggest thing. Like, that's like why I do YouTube. Like, my biggest thing is like, I just never want people to feel alone, because that's the worst feeling to me. Like, when I feel like I'm alone in something, like, it just feels so isolating. And that's like the big reason why I do YouTube, because like, I don't want, like, hopefully someone can see themselves in something that I say that day or whatever. And oh, Florence is in the window. Oh, she's already gone. She's cleaning her room. So that's what she did. She really just like made me feel not alone. And I was able to completely open up to her about everything. I'm probably forgetting something, but yeah, I told her about the binge eating and the sugar, and I told her everything, and she did a full like checkup, everything. Like, I left leaving so good, like just feeling so like seen and heard. Like, I was there an hour and 15 minutes. That's a long doctor's appointment. And she was like, oh, I'll stay here all day. You can talk to me as long as you want. And it was just so helpful. And even just to hear her say, like, it's hard. Like, what you're going through is, it's really hard. Like, I hope you know that. Like, you're going through hard things, and it's okay to feel a little defeated sometimes. And then she said, like, she's like, Jacqueline, if you're walking every day for the next 4 weeks, and you're cleaning up your eating, and you're taking your blood pressure, and if you're doing all the things I'm asking you to do, and you walk in this door and you just don't feel better, she's like, there's nothing wrong with putting a little cherry on top of all the tools in your belt and starting some sort of medication. She's like, there's nothing wrong with that. And I know that there's not. I just want to try. Like, I just want to try giving it my 100%, not 50%, not 70%, 80% or 90%. Like, I want to try my 100% of like really, 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 really taking care of myself and doing everything she's like. I want to show up there in a month with blood pressure every single day. I want to get 10,000 steps every single day. I'll have to charge my Fitbit. I am going for a walk tonight. Like, I'm starting ASAP. Like, it's a perfect night for a walk. So I just want to show up there doing everything she told me to do, and hopefully in a little bit of a better state of mind, and hopefully there's nothing in my blood work. And she even said, she's like, Jacqueline, if something shows, like, she's like, you're not dying. You're not dying. She's like, you don't have any symptoms of someone that's dying. She's like, if something shows up in your blood work, we'll fix it. And I was like, okay. Like, she just, like, simplified it. And I was like, yeah, she's right. Like, okay, if it comes up that I have pre-diabetes or something, we can fix that. Or if I have diabetes, like, it's not, like, we can fix that. Like, there's medicine, there's diet, there's everything. Like, we can fix that. If my blood pressure, well, it was high today, but if something, you know, in my blood work comes up, she's like, we'll fix it. Like, she's like, it's really good that you came in. And she was just, I don't know, she was amazing. Like, I'm gonna sleep so good tonight, because I was like, oh, I cried so much. I cried so much. But anyway, I'm glad I got it all out, and I talked to her, and she really, like, she listened. Like, I felt like I could have told her anything, and I'm really glad, like, she's doing my follow-up. And, like, I don't know how, I just don't even understand how this happened. Like, literally, we're supposed to see my doctor. He's supposed to see in an emergency case in a week, and then I got in earlier. Like, I don't understand. It was just all divine, like, intervention. Like, my dad was there, like, stirring the pot. Like, okay, like, she has a lot going on. She needs to talk to someone she's going to open up to. I probably would have said a lot of it to my doctor, but definitely not everything. Like, no, I wouldn't have, because I would just be, I don't know, like, and sometimes I feel like when I'm at the doctor's and I just feel like, I don't know, I'm just like, I don't want to, I don't know, it's something about a man, I'm just like, I don't know. So, I don't know if that makes sense, but I was just, it was like the perfect scenario, other than, like, it took so long for the blood. But oh well, I don't mind that stuff at all. Like, they were really sweet, and I just took the Band-Aid off. Yeah, they were really sweet, and yeah, she has, so she's gonna have my dad's file for a week. She's allowed to have it for a week or something, she said. So she said she's gonna really go through it, and if there's anything else that she sees that needs, like, testing for me. And she said she can also, like, make notes on my file to say, like, what my family history is from him. I don't know. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember certain things, but I'm proud of myself, because that was really hard to do. It was really hard to go in there and just, like, spill your heart out and just be like, I'm just, like, I'm sad. I'm not depressed, and I'm not, like I told you guys, like, I don't have certain anxieties that I used to have. Like, I feel taken care of, but, like, I'm just sad. And, I just miss my dad, and just trying to navigate this world without him. And unfortunately turned to food and sugar that just kind of had me leading down a bad path. So it was good to talk, and I'm like really ready to give 100%, like, no 95% or whatever, like 100%. I'm ready. So that's where I'm at. But thanks for listening. I know I never mind sharing this stuff with you guys. Like, obviously I wouldn't share other people's stuff, but my own, I have no issue. I'm an open book. And if you're suffering a loss in your life, I'm sorry. And just know that there are people out there that can help, and that want to help, and that will make you feel so much better. Like, just talking to her today, I was just like, I just felt so seen. So just know that I see you, and I know it's hard, and it's not fair, but we can do it. I'm going to do it, and I'll show you guys, like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take things seriously, And I want to be around. Like, I want to be around for my grandkids, and I want to be around for my grandkids' wedding, and I want to be, like, I just want to be here. I just want to be here. So, anyway, thanks for listening. That's the update, and I'll see you guys probably tomorrow.